Hello and welcome to another advanced skeleton video. In this video, we are going to take a closer look at model changes. And for this, we will be using this wonderful looking fairy character, which has been modeled and rigged by Patrick Evard. Now there will be a link in the description below where you can go and look at more of Patrick's wonderful artwork. So let's jump into Maya, and I got two Maya sessions open at the same time here. The one of them is the model file, the other one is the rig file. So it is highly recommended that you keep your model and your rig in separate files. This helps keep a clear separation between the model and any modeling work that needs to be done, and the rig and the rigging work that gets done. This is the model file. We can see in the outliner here we have a single top node called Geo. Over here we have the rig file. If we open the outliner in this file, we'll see we have a single top node called Group, which is the rig, and the geometry is under the geometry node, which is again under the group node. And if we open the reference editor, we can see that this is where the model has been referenced into the rig. All right, over to the model. Now, just to be clear, there are two main types of model changes that can happen, and that is topology change and non-topology change. If you got a non-topology change, which be just points being moved and no points added or removed, then updating the rig becomes very easy. So to make an example of this, we're going to make a very simple and exaggerated model change. Say we move these points to give the character a big bicep here, and we're gonna save the model. But before I save this model, I need to show that as part of managing model changes in the rig, we do need to be able to access previous versions of the model. Now you might have your own way of doing versioning. You might have a versioning system, but for this, for the purpose of this video, we're going to keep that very simple by just finding the file in the Windows Explorer. We're going to hit Control-C, Control-V, copy. Now we have a backup copy, so we're able to go back. With the backup copy safely in place, I'm going to go in here, hit Save. We've now changed the model. In here, since we have the model reference into this rig, all I would need to do is reopen this file and we would see the change come in. Or in fact, we don't even need to reopen it. We couldn't go in the reference editor, select the reference and hit reload. And we can see that the moved bicep vertices are in the rig and the rig is still working as normal. So that is non-topology changes. They are very easy to incorporate into the rig as long as you have the model referenced in. Now let's go back into the model file. I'll hit undo to go back to the way the model was. And this time we're gonna make a change that involves modification to the topology. So a typical change could be that we wish to insert some edge loops. So let's go ahead and do that. So as we can see now, we got quite a few dense edge loops right here. So this is just to demonstrate how it would work. By default, the construction history means that we do get these nodes over here. So the model is remembering what was done to it. So this is construction history. It is definitely recommended not to have construction history saved with the model, because that means these nodes will be computing on every frame, even in the rig and in animation, which is very inefficient. So we are gonna remove the history, which can be done by using the delete history function. But I'll show you the recommended method to make sure that all history is removed from the model anytime any changes is made, and that is to use the model cleaner tool. So before we clean it, you can see over here on the right side we have the history notes here. Then we'll just hit the clean button, and now if we select the object, you'll see the history node is gone. And we're now gonna just go ahead and save, and we'll jump back over to our rig file, and this time to get the model update, I'll just go ahead and reopen the rig file, and we see that this time we get some issues. Those extra edge loops has introduced topology that was not there previously, and that has no valid skin weights. So how do we deal with this? Now, the first thing we're gonna make sure is that all the new topology has some weights assigned, which we can do here in the skin menu. We'll go ahead and choose the option called Normalize weights. Now, this does not ensure that your skin weights are the same as before. To do that, what we're going to do is we are going to bring in the old version of the rig that uses the old geometry into the scene that has the new version of the rig that uses the new geometry, and we're going to use the copy skin weights function. So to do that, what we'll do is first we're gonna reopen the rig. Now this is the one we're using the latest model, so you see it has issues. However, we're gonna go in the reference editor. We're gonna change this reference from pointing to the normal model to the backup file that we made in the beginning of this video, which is called the fairy copy. And we'll do that by using the function called replace reference. And now the skinning is back to working as normal because it's using the original version of the model. We are now going to save this out as a separate file. So let's go ahead and save this. I'll keep it here in the rig folder, and I'll give it the name fairy underscore using old model, and hit save. Then once again, I'm going to reopen the original rig file, and this one, as we remember, has the issue. And here comes the trick. We are now going to reference in that special rig file that we made so we can copy the weights. So we'll go ahead and hit create reference. We'll reference in the file that we called fairy underscore using old model. And just to show here what's happening, I'll move it off to the side, and we can see that over here we have the latest rig that uses the latest model that has the issue, and over here we have the special file of the rig that's using the old model. And we're gonna go ahead and we copy the skin weights from here over here. To do so, I'll just hit undo to move that thing back. Now remember, the first thing to do here now for this new rig is to normalize the skin weights. We'll go here, choose normalize weights, and then we'll copy the skin weights. And we'll do that by first selecting our source, which is going to be skin from the special version here, and then selecting the latest version, which is here, and then go to the skin menu and hit copy skin weights. And that's how it's done. We can now go in the reference editor and just hit remove reference for this special file that we brought in. And we're back to having just the one rig in the file. And if we show the wireframe on shader, we'll see that this is the one with the topology model change. And the skin weighting has been copied over from the version of the rig before the model change. So that's a way we can use the copy skin weights tool to copy skin weights across whenever there is a model change. And as usual, I hope this video has been helpful, and I'll see you next time.